Welcome back to my Victorian Undergarment series. In this second part, we'll be moving from the soft base layers into the shaping structure, a young girl's corset and a delicately corded petticoat. These pieces were designed not to tightly cinch, but to guide posture and support the silhouette of outer garments. I'll be using my own printable sewing patterns, which are available now in my shop. You will find a link in the description below. Let's begin. You can purchase the pattern from my shops. Once payment is complete, the files will be automatically sent to you for download. Make sure to print the pattern at 100% scale or extra size on A4 paper. You can use 75 to 110 GSM paper depending on your preference. The first 6 pages contain essential details like size charts, sewing tools, and technical flat drawings to guide you. Match the markings and tape the pages together. Cut the pattern pieces along the dashed lines. Verify that all pattern pieces match the layout shown on page 2. Once printed and assembled, you are ready to start sewing. For the corset, I use a poly satin fabric with gemstone shine. It's not a historically traditional material, but the soft shimmer adds a refined, doll-like elegance while still honoring the silhouette of Victorian children's corsetra. The top is finished with delicate lace trim for gentle feminine touch, and the front closure features steel corset busts. I raised the bust placement slightly higher than usual to create a flattened bust profile, mimicking the natural modest shake seen in corsets designed for young girls during the Victorian era. Inside, I use soft plastic boning and maintain gentle structure without creating a restrictive fit. For a firmer shape, you can opt for steel boning or add a second layer of couture or canvas. As for the petticoat, I use a velvet cotton blend fabric, heavier than plain cotton, but perfect for giving the skirt a soft sculptural shape. The texture adds richness while the cotton keeps it breathable. I insert cotton foam coring between each panel to replicate the look of traditional 19th century corded petticoats, offering volume and silhouette support without the stiffness of a hoop skirt. These materials may not follow strict historical accuracy, but they reflect my design choices, balancing visual beauty, comfort, and the essence of Victorian style. Begin by cutting your fabric using the printed sewing patterns. Place each pattern piece on your chosen fabric, aligning carefully with the grain line as indicated. Be sure to transfer all markings and notches onto the fabric panels before sewing. You can use tailor's chalk or thread tracing, whichever method suits your fabric and preference. If your chosen fabric is thin or delicate, you may want to add interfacing to the corset panels for extra structure. I applied interfacing to mine for better support. Thread your sewing machine and adjust the settings according to your fabric type. Use a fine needle and appropriate tension for a medium or lightweight materials like satin, cotton, or linen blends. Pick out the center front panels and mark the placement line for your bust. I used a short corset bust and positioned it slightly higher than usual to help create a flat chest effect, mimicking the silhouette of a young Victorian girl. Adjust the height based on your desired outcome. Sew along the markings. Flip the right side out and insert the basque. Secure the basque carefully in place. Tip: be careful when cutting or punching holes for the basque loops and studs. I recommend using fabric edge seal glue around the holes to prevent fraying or tearing. Mark the boning channels along each corset panel using a zipper or one-side presser foot. Stitch boning casing down the center of each panel. I use a 4mm wide boning and add 2 to 3 channels per markings. Feel free to adjust the number and spacing to your design preferences. Repeat for all remaining panels. Prepare the center back panels by marking the spacing for your eyelets. I use 5mm wide eyelets to match the lace color I selected. Measure and adjust spacing as needed based on your eyelet size. Tip: for delicate fabrics, punch one hole at a time and insert the eyelet immediately before moving to the next hole. This helps avoid damage or stretching. Once all panels are ready, begin joining them. Sew the center back to the side back, side front to the center front, and then sew the front and the back sections together at the side seams. I use bias binding to finish my internal seams, but you can also use flat felt seams, French seams, or your preferred finishing methods. If needed, add additional boning to support specific area. Trim the boning ends to the correct length. File or cover the tips to avoid poking through the fabric. Apply lace trim along the neckline edge. Finish the top and bottom of the corset using bias binding. I chose to hand stitch the visible edges for a cleaner look, but machine stitch works just as well. Make sure all corners are smooth and edges are pressed clean. To complete the corset, sew a center back modest panel for support and coverage behind the lacing. This helps protect the skin and gives the corset a polished finish. The corset is now complete. Begin by cutting your fabrics using the printed sewing patterns. Place each pattern pieces on your chosen fabric, aligning carefully with the grain line as indicated. Be sure to transfer all markings and notches onto the fabric panels before sewing. You can use tailor's chalk or thread tracing, whichever method suits your fabric and preference. Thread your sewing machine and adjust the settings according to your fabric type. Use a fine needle and correct tension for lightweight materials such as linen, cotton, or velvet blends. Fold and pin all the dots along the waistline. Sew them closed, then press each dot open with an iron. To reduce bulk, sew a 5mm top stitch along the dot edges and trim off any excess at the waistline. Pin and sew the center back seam of the skirt panels. Attach an invisible zipper using a zipper foot for a clean hidden finish. Pin the cotton cords along the marked channels on the skirt panels. Sew the loop casing close to encase the cords securely. I designed mine with 3 rows of cording, but feel free to adjust the number based on the look or support you want. Tips: keep in mind that adding more cords may affect the final length of the skirt. Once done, set the skirt aside. Apply interfacing to both waistband panels for extra structure. Pin and sew the side seams of the waistband, front and back. Then press the seams open. With right sides facing, sew the 2 waistband layers together along the top edge. Flip right side out, press flat, and shape the corners neatly. Sandwich seam the finished waistband to the top of the skirt to complete the waistline. Attach a hook and bar or any fastener of your choice to secure the closure. The corded petticoat is now complete. Thank you so much for watching part 2 of my Victorian Undergarment series. With the corset and corded petticoat complete, we've now built a full shaping layer that sits beautifully over the soft chemise and bloomers. These garments not only support the silhouette, they tell the story of how Victorian fashion was thoughtfully layered, from comfort to structure. If you would like to create your own version, the printable sewing patterns for both the corset and petticoat are available in my shop. You will find the links in the description below. I hope this series has inspired you to explore historical sewing in your own creative way. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and check out part 1 if you've missed it. Future the chemists and bloomers. Until next time, happy sewing, and thank you for joining me. Bye bye!